In this video, we are going to talk about 2 strategies to help kids build emotional regulation skills. Emotional regulation. What's up? My name is Seth Perler. Welcome to TEFOS, the Executive Function Online Summit for compassionate and proactive parents, teachers, and therapists. And when you are working with a kid who has executive function challenges and you want to support them, we're talking about the front third, the prefrontal cortex or the frontal lobe of the brain developing. And as the frontal lobe develops, we learn all these different skills to help us navigate school and life. And one of the massive skill sets that this helps us do is to regulate emotion. So executive function helps us regulate emotion, or emotional regulation is part of executive function. And there's part of the brain I'm not going to talk much about today called the amygdala. So a few inches behind the eye, you have the amygdala, which helps us with when we feel threatened or unsafe. And that has everything to do with emotions as well. So what's up? I'm glad you're here. We're at 10 Days to TEFOS, and we're here with tip number 7. I'm going to give you 2 tips today. Day number 7. So we have a few days, 4 days technically, until the Executive Function Summit. If you like what we're doing, please share executivefunctionsummit.com with somebody right now. You can do it as this video is going. Executivefunctionsummit.com. Just share it in your Facebook groups or in an email or whatever. So why is emotional regulation important for back to school? I'll be sharing that. And I'm going to give you 2 strategies, and I'm going to give you a challenge today for how to actually implement this in a very practical way. The reason it's important to help kids develop emotional regulation is that they have big emotions, stress, anxiety. We want them, as they're navigating school and back to school time or any time, to know how to feel their emotions. All of us watching this right now know of adults in our life who did not learn to feel their emotions and can see the devastating results and how that manifests in many different ways in people's lives until they eventually get it or they don't. So, but we want our kids to have tools to process emotions, to keep emotions right-sized for many reasons. One, the brain learns better. They learn more. There's better executive function, better focus, better social life, better friendships, better relationship with themselves and self-esteem. We have more fun in life in general, a better experience in life, more freedom, choices, possibilities in life. So there's so many reasons that emotional regulation is important. And not having strong emotional regulation tools causes so many problems and so much suffering. So what are the 2 strategies I'm going to give you today? One is, if you're taking notes, it's very easy. Write down the words, I notice, quote, I notice. So one of the things that I do most often with kids and parents is to teach or build emotional regulation is this type of reflective listening, reflective talking. And I will, in doing so, I will reflect back something that I notice. So let's say that I'm sitting here making this video and I'm talking to you, and maybe I'm talking like this. Yeah, so emotional regulation is this really important thing, and you notice that my shoulders are tight and they're going up and down. You might say, Seth, I notice your shoulders are tight. I notice that you're breathing into your chest really heavy. I might say, yeah, well, I'm nervous on camera. I don't like making videos. This is hard, and that's not the truth for me, but I'm just giving an example. Like, or yeah, I'm really uncomfortable right now, or I'm really stressed out, and I carry my stress on my shoulders. But saying I notice, reflecting that back to your child in a non-judgmental, compassionate, empathetic, open way is like a very open-ended question, even though it's not a question. Just saying the statement, I notice your fists are clenched right now. I notice your jaw is clenched right now. I notice your voice is getting loud right now. I notice you're kind of shrunk right now and leaning over and not looking at me. I notice you're not saying much. I notice that last week you said this, but this week you said this. So it's just an I notice. It's a curiosity. And if you're taking notes, I think that's a really important word to jot down too. It's curious. It's curious. It's not judgmental. It's curious. It's very open. And I can say this to a parent. I can say this to a kid, but I say, I notice you said these words. I notice you chose these words. I notice your voice got really fast when you said this. I notice you're not answering the question. So the I notice is just a very disarming way to get somebody to feel free to communicate. Now, when we're talking specifically in this video about emotional regulation, you can apply it to all kinds of things, but you can apply it to the emotional life of a person. You know, I notice you look sad. I notice you look frustrated. I notice you sound frustrated. I notice your shoulders are doing this. I notice you've been talking about stomach aches for 4 days in a row now. So, and allowing them to talk about their emotions and their feelings. So when people can talk about, when they can talk freely and openly without judgment about what they feel, their emotions, what's going on, that in and of itself is a tool for emotional regulation. So I said I was going to give you 2 tips or 2 tools today. So that is a tool, that using that I notice and allowing somebody the space to speak, holding space for them in a really non-judgmental way. So that's number 1, is try using the I notice. And I'm going to give you some specific challenges today at the end here. Number 2 is the temperature check. I do temperature checks in many different ways, and I'm going to do one with you right here. I'm going to do one way. There are many ways to do it. This is just one way. So this one is on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'm going to ask you what's your temperature about something, and I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being good, 1 being bad, and what is your number. So for you, the listener, real question. What is your temperature right now about how you feel about your self-care? So I'm sort of asking a feeling question, all right? I'm asking about self-care, a specific thing. What would you give yourself on a 1 to 10 about how you feel about your self-care? And you can pick any number. And I would say to you right now, for me, and then you're going to ask why. So I would say for me, I feel like a 6 on self-care. And you say, why, Seth? Well, it's a 6 because even though I'm doing something to take care of myself every day, to exercise or connect with people in my life, I'm working so much right now because it's summit time, and I'm not burnout, but I'm close to it. So that's why I'm giving myself a 6. So you ask the person what's their temperature, why, and then, so why did you give yourself your number? Consider that. And then I'm going to ask you what would make it 1 point higher. So if you said you're a 3, a 10, you would say, well, what would it take to make it an 11? You say a 1, what would make it a 2? For me, a 6, what would make it a 7? So for me, a 7 would be having more routine, like being more strict with myself about sleep, and just in a more routine way, that would make it a 7. So you're going to get great answers from your kids when you do this. So the temperature check, again, what is it on a 1 through 10? Why? Hold more space, especially for kids who don't know how to talk about how they're feeling very well. You really need to help them understand that you're a safe person to keep talking to. So a lot of times when a kid's done talking, I'll say, tell me a little bit more. I'm listening. Like they really, when they feel safe, they're going to tell you more. And when they tell you more, then you can really know how to help them better. So we go, okay, cool. So 1 through 10, what is it? Why? What would make it 1 point higher? And so those are the 2 tools, the I notice and the temperature check. So fantastic tools. You can use them for so many things. The temperature check, you can also ask for non-emotional things. Hey, how was your math test on a scale of 1 through 10? What's your temperature? Oh, it was an 8. Cool. Why did you give it an 8? Oh, because of this. Oh, cool. What would make it a 9? Like these sorts of reflective questions help your kids start to articulate things in very powerful ways. So now the challenge for you today, parents, teachers, therapists, whoever's watching, my challenge for you is to write a little sticky note on your fridge or on your mirror or somewhere where you're going to see it every day that says, I notice, ... And for the rest of the month of August, every day, say that a few times to your kid or the kids that you work with, and start practicing saying, I notice. Practice asking yourself, what do you notice? What do you notice about your body language, your breathing, your voice, your emotional state? What do you notice? So start asking, I notice. That's challenge number 1. Write it somewhere where you're going to see it. Put it on the fridge and then do that for the rest of the month. Number 2, do the temperature check on a scale of 1 through 10 for the rest of the month. At least once a day. Do it with yourself. Do it with somebody else. Start practicing those. So do it every day for August. Again, my name is Seth Perler with TEFOS, the Executive Function Online Summit. We have the All Access Pass you can check out, and it is on sale right now. If you like what we're doing, please share executivefunctionsummit.com with somebody right now so that more people can find us. And I want to wish you today peace in your heart. I want to wish you joy, and I want to wish you connection with the people in your life, particularly the kids in your life. Have a fantastic day. We will see you in just a few days at the Executive Function Summit. Take care.